On September 11, 2025, Beth Ann Hardison, activist, asked Yara Shahidi, activist, in a Forbes interview on how she felt about her world right now. Yara answered honestly by saying she is terrified and would like a plan to fix it. I empathize in that no one should feel. I empathize in that no one should live in fear. In my opinion, this sounds like a plea for help. I like to help, but how? When Yara Shahidi was younger, she did an equality speech on October 19, 2018 at the Gleason Respect Awards. I argue this speech is a hypothesis to fix her world and to reduce her fear. In April 2024, I published my book on Amazon based on this hypothesis, showing that prevention will lead to equity and that equity will lead to equality. This hypothesis will fix the political, economic, and social problems in her world and our world. This nonprofit, non-edited channel is a letter to Yara Shahidi in teaching Yara's hypothesis to the public in order to better our world. In the end, Yara Shahidi will get the Nobel Peace Prize for her hypothesis. Dear Yara Shahidi, it's Chapter 3, Who Am I, in 2019. As for me, I'm just like my niece, very strong and very handsome. The girls that I have known over my lifetime, my friends and my family, do not think I'm that handsome or strong. I mean, I might not be as handsome or strong as I think I am. Well, I believe I am, sorry, not edited. Well, I believe I am that handsome and strong, and that is all that matters to me. If I'm living in a delusional world, as my niece claims I am, so let it be. I'm very handsome and strong, damn it. I also learned from Einstein and my mom that fitting in is relative and an illusion based on individual preferences. It took me longer to realize this than my niece. I will also enlighten you, the reader, the listener, on how much I really do not care what people think about me by explaining what a disaster my dating life has been, all my adult life, my fast food job right out of college, my drug house apartment complex, and my worn out truck. I will describe my fast food job in another part of this paper or book. I will clarify the other three in a second, but first I will describe more of me in 2018. My height is 5'10" and a half, and I weigh 226 pounds. This is what I am today, December 19, 2019, as I write this section of the paper. My typical outfit that I wear are solid black shoes with white socks. I also wear solid black athletic shorts with a solid green shirt. In my wardrobe selection, my preference of color is black. I wear my brown hair in a mullet type style in 2018. I call my outfit or style comfortable because, as I said before, I really do not want to impress anybody but myself. I just want to wear what I deem comfortable. My niece says I need a wardrobe overhaul. Also, my niece calls me fat and bald. But I say I'm big boned and my hair is thinning very, 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 very little on top. I call myself Forever 21 because I look and feel 21 years old. Yeah. My niece thinks I feel and look 50 years old because every time she texts me, I'm eating and watching television. Despite my niece seeming mean, she does have empathy for me. She thinks I'm a little depressed because I haven't dated anyone in a while. And a while might be an understatement. I haven't dated a girl since 2018. August 2000, sorry, that's wrong. Unedited. The reason why, no, sorry. She thinks I'm a little depressed because I haven't dated anyone in a while. And a while might be an understatement. I haven't dated a girl since August 2008. Thank you. Jeez. The reason why I know this is because the Olympics were being held then. I just spent the night at my girlfriend's house to watch the track and field finals. We both liked watching the track and field competitions throughout our relationship tenure. It was our thing. I woke up the next morning to a phone call, and it was my girlfriend's new boyfriend telling me to leave her house. During the phone call, she told me to get my stuff and leave her house. At this point in time, I was naked in her bed, and we had been together for 10.5 years. This was a shock for me, and I couldn't believe she did this, but she did. Sucked. I was totally blindsided by this betrayal. Despite the betrayal, I still talk to my then girlfriend to this day. She's married today to a different guy who she cheated on me with and is really heavily involved with her church. Sometime after our breakup, I was able to ask her side of the story in our relationship. My ex-girlfriend is a very private person when it comes to romantic and financial matters after our breakup. It almost takes an exorcism for her to release something private about herself. When we were together, she wouldn't talk. When we were together, we wouldn't stop talk. Sorry. When we were together, she wouldn't stop talking about her world. Sometimes I would have to go to the bathroom and pretend to go just to get a break from her talking about her day. I don't know if it was her guilt or if she remembered how very close we were in the past, but she actually opened up on why she cheated on me. In my head, the only thing we fought about was not having enough sex because she worked every day. In my mind, this was the only thing we fought about in the 10.5 years we were together. She started working every day in the last 5 years of our relationship, but the first 5 years were fine to me. I am really easy in a relationship. As long as I have enough sex, sleep, and food in a relationship, then I'm happy. From her perspective, she was worried about money so much that she was panicking about her retirement fund. She is 10 years older than me and an immigrant from Mexico turned U.S. citizen. United States citizen. Yeah, U.S. citizen. Sorry. She said she only had to rely on herself and was worried that she wouldn't have anything to fall back on when she retired. She was the only one in her family here who lived in Oregon. She was also the top and only female breadwinner in her family. She worked 14 hours a day and 7 days a week in Oregon at the time as a waitress in a Mexican restaurant. During her lunchtime, she would look at houses and apartments to buy to fix up. As you can see, this was why we had arguments over sex a lot from my perspective. She was just always busy. She said she cheated on me twice with the guy who called on the phone that morning to tell me to leave her house. I was going into a master's degree program in college, and she wanted someone who she could rely on to help her with her finances now. She said when she met me, she was desperate. She said when she met him, not me, him. She was desperate. She couldn't ask me to help her out with some money for her retirement because all the money I was making was going to school. The guy she cheated on me with twice was working in construction, and he said he could help her out financially if they were together, but she would have to dump me first. She told me he said all the right things. She never told me any of this when we were together, like her financial desperation. As I said before, I would have to escape her because she talks so much. As I write this, it doesn't make any sense. She would tell me stuff all the time and would love it when I listened to her. I guess she never told me a lot of things that were truly deeply bothering her. This was my first real relationship, and as a novice and being younger than her, I thought as long as I was having sex with her on a regular basis, as I said before, like once or twice a week, our relationship was fine. I couldn't see what was happening underneath the surface. And this is why I was so blindsided. She later told me that the guy she cheated on me with twice, cheated on her and used her money to bring over his girlfriend from Mexico. She said she was devastated when that happened to her. She trusted him blindly because he seemed so sincere. She wanted to believe that he was there to help her. In the end, she lost a boyfriend and almost half her retirement savings to him. As she built up her lost retirement savings, she met her current husband. I was shocked when she got married because when I was with her, she never talked about kids, marriage proposals, living together, or anything based on a future together. It is kind of weird as I type this, or write this, or read this. It was so weird. It was just like, yeah, it was just weird. I am not sure why, and I never asked her either. I'm not sure why, and I never asked her either. Her current husband is also in construction, and they buy and rent properties together for their retirement. They both work heavily in their church, spreading the gospel as much as they can. In the end, she seems happy for the most part when we talk over the phone or text. As I said before, she's still private and still has trouble conveying how she really feels over situations that she doesn't like. When we talk, we mostly talk about God and the philosophy of God. In the end, I'm glad she is happy, but it took me a long time to get over her. I just wish I knew what I know now because I'm a lot smarter and would understand her better if I had to do it all over again. A year after the breakup, I tried dating a girl I met at college. She was really nice, but she really liked strange things. She had a thing for micropenises. I know, you can't make this stuff up. She liked looking at them and watching porn with guys in them. I know, it was weird, really weird. I only dated her for 2 weeks. Then they dropped her off at the airport. She literally went on vacation for 2 weeks by herself to Texas to see the sights, as she claims. After the 2 weeks, I picked her up from the airport in After 2 weeks, I picked her up from the airport. In Texas, she met a guy. I know. You just, come on. Sorry. In Texas, she met a guy. When she got back, she dumped me and started a long-distance relationship with him. Jeez. Oh, my God. She actually explained why she dumped me after I asked her. She said, I would like you to be my friend because you listen well. But you are too sensitive for me to have as a boyfriend. I want a strong man or a challenging man like the guy I met in Texas. In the end, I learned that she used me for a ride to the airport and believed I was not man enough to have I learned that she used me for a ride to the airport and believed I was not man enough to have as a boyfriend. Now that was a punch in my pride. I mean, come on. After the 2-week fling, or whatever you call it, I met a friend at the gym, and we started going to the bars to meet women. This is what people do in my hometown, to meet the opposite sex, bars and dance clubs. Well, we meet the opposite sex in bars and dance clubs. It's a small town. My friend liked to drink, smoke marijuana, flirt with girls, and dance and grind with as many women as he possibly could. He was built for this type of lifestyle or this town by letting go and having fun. Since I didn't drink or do drugs, I would sit at a table and watch him have all the fun and watch the girls dance. I mean, yeah. You just sit there. Because I don't drink. I don't do drugs. You're trying to communicate, but you can't because they're drunk or high or don't meet the opposite sex at dance clubs or bars. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I would sit at a table and watch him have all the fun or watch the girls dance. When my friend brought girls back to the table, I would try to talk to them. Let me tell you, it is really hard to have a conversation with a drunk girl. It's so hard. She's like, what? What? You're ruining my buzz. I tried for 6 months straight with my friend every weekend in trying to have conversations with women in bars and in dance clubs. Some conversations were nice and some were not so nice. My friend liked any type of woman that you placed in front of him. His relationships with women wouldn't last because his relationships with women wouldn't last because he always had beer goggles on. Plus, I do not think he knew how to handle a relationship. When things got too serious for him, he would dump his then girlfriend and he would go back in the bar or dance club searching for the next one. It was just amazing. He would usually have a new girlfriend by the end of the night. It was really amazing to see. I think his longest relationship with a woman was 2 weeks. I mean, he just wanted to have fun, and so did everyone else in the bars and dance clubs. For me, I was looking for a relationship too seriously and not having any fun. I came across desperate. Yes, I did. Oh my God, I did. I came across desperate and looking for my next girlfriend at a bar where people get drunk and high. This is probably why I failed. Yes, I did. Oh my God, I did. And then, in the 6 months with my friend, I would say that 90% of the women I met were very nice, very intelligent, and some of them were great mothers. But from my perspective, I wouldn't consider them attractive. I was raised on television. I have been watching television for decades. I would watch it for 16 hours a day and sometimes 7 days a week. I have been doing this ever since I was potty trained. My mom actually has pictures of me being potty trained and I'm watching television. When I see girls on television, I would like to date most of them. My mother calls them fantasy women for me. She says they do not exist in real life. When I went out, I would say 10% of the women that I met fit this television profile of attraction that I felt I would date. When I did talk to them, they would have the usual profile on hand. I call it the Trinity. The Trinity were the boyfriends, fiancés, or husbands waiting for them at home. Waiting home for them, sorry. When I went out, there were times that girls didn't fit into the Trinity at all. Sometimes I would talk to a girl, When I went out, there were times that girls didn't fit into the Trinity at all. Sometimes I would talk to a girl with a girlfriend. I like talking to lesbians because I learned so much about how girls think and how supportive they can be to one another. It is really refreshing. I mean, it really is. If I had the chance to be a lesbian in my second life, I think I would be a great one. I mean, I'll just say it there. I also had a conversation with a bisexual girl that I met at a bar. I would ask her questions and she would explain her lifestyle. It was really interesting. For example, the bisexual girl told me she was attracted to what she felt that day. If she wanted a man that day, then she would date a man. Also, if she wanted a woman that day, then she would date a woman. Also, if she had an emotional or physical connection with someone, then she would attempt a long-term exclusive relationship with that person. It was truly fascinating. It really was. The best psychological conversation I had was with a transgender woman. She was a psychology major at a university, and I asked her take on being a man and then a woman. She gave me really great answers that truly surprised me. The best part was that I learned about a lifestyle different than mine. She said that when she was a gay man, she really loved that lifestyle, but she said something was missing. When she became a woman, she felt that she was complete. Now she felt freer to date any man that came her way. I felt happy for her. I mean, she was really self-confident in herself when she became a woman. I mean, it's just cool. Besides the bar scene, I tried doing sports programs, going to the gym, learning how to dance, dating through friends, and online dating, but nothing has worked for me. I tried all this while I went to the bars and nightclubs with my friend. I was not attracted to the women that went to these places, and if I was, then the Trinity would show its ugly head within the first minute to 5 minutes of talking to her. It was really frustrating. I really do not know how people meet. To this day, I still do not know how people find each other in order to date, get married, or have kids. In the past, I have saved my friends' marriages when they were going to get divorced. This shows me I would be good in a relationship, but meeting that special someone has always eluded me all my life. One day I hope to figure it out. I know, I hope I do. Jesus. Oh my God. The best online date was with a girl that I thought was really pretty. My niece loves this story. I picked her up from her house. When we drove to the restaurant, she started telling me that she was proud of herself for being able to do all the drugs made by men. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, come on. She claimed to have done cocaine, crack, molly, bath salts, etc. Just, okay. When we were at the restaurant, we sat on the same side of the booth and she started feeding me food. The first date. I mean, come on. I'm not a touchy-feely guy, but she was pretty, so I let her. I know I'm a pig. I'm getting better, though. I'm trying. She kept complimenting me and saying how great our kids will be one day. Yeah, she was, yeah. She kept on saying that she wanted a man to take care of her and how she was worth it. I am guessing at that point she was talking about how great she was in bed. When the check came, I was $2 short, and this girl had just ordered the most expensive stuff on the menu. I had brought $200 in cash, and it didn't have a credit card or debit card on me. When I was not able to pay, the compliments stopped and the yelling started. I was $2 short, and she wasn't going to help me because she wanted to be taken care of by a real man. I guess I wasn't man enough because she was yelling at the top of her lungs to God and country or whoever would listen. At this point, I was hoping just to get this crazy person home without the cops getting involved. Seriously, she was loud. Our waiter paid the $2 because she was really making a scene. When we got to her house, she said to never call her ever again and slammed my truck door. After I left her driveway, I just lost it and laughed my ass off because it was just $2. Seriously. I couldn't believe that just happened. I felt I was in the Twilight Zone. What ended the bar and nightclub scene for me was the fatigue of it all. I wasn't having any fun, and it was really hard work. I mean, it's really hard work to find someone. It's exhausting. I mean, I still don't know how people do it. I would sit there for hours trying to talk to women that were half-conscious or bad. I would sit there for hours trying to talk to women that were half-conscious or had such a lifestyle different from mine that it would be impossible to date them. For example, I went out with my friend to a bar, and we met two lovely ladies that were television quality in my head. I know that it is sad, but like everyone else, I have issues too. After 5 minutes talking with them, we found out they were older than us and were grandmothers. These women were 35-year-old grandmothers. 35. I couldn't believe it. They were both showing us their grandkids. They had 4 grandkids each. 4. 35. My friend was into the girls, but I said I was sick and had to go home. Again, there's nothing wrong with this lifestyle if you are into it. Yeah, there's nothing. To each their own. I am happy if you want to live your life this way. If this is God's plan for you, then I'm happy for you. In my head, I did not have a kid yet and was still in school to make something of myself at that point in my life. I didn't want to have a relationship with a grandmother, sorry. I don't know. It just threw me for a loop and I stopped trying to date after that. I was just done. As I write this section of the paper, or the video, I haven't been on a date, or this is 2019, I haven't been on a date or attempted to date a girl since that time in the bar. I'm not gay, but there's nothing wrong with it if that is your preference. I just lost hope in trying to date. It is annoying, and yes, I would like to meet somebody, but the Trinity is always there, and I need help. Yes. In the past, my niece has said she would love to help me out in finding a girl, but I would have to change my current lifestyle. She texted me saying texted me saying I would first put you on a diet of 2,200 calories a day and 2,700 calories on Sunday to shock the body to help you lose weight. Next, I would have you go to the gym 6 days a week to lose 50 pounds with just doing cardiovascular machines. Also, I would shave your head to get rid of your mullet hairstyle in order to show off your head. Short hair can look attractive on men. Lastly, I would burn your clothes and buy you a suit. In the end, this will help you get a date and maybe in your mind be forever 21. In your mind be forever 21. I don't think I'm ready to date yet. It has been a while since I've dated. Maybe I'm scared or I'm comfortable being on my own. I don't know. When I'm ready, I will let her mold me into a respectable man that is presentable and meaningful to the opposite sex. With my embarrassing dating life firmly cemented, my next is my worn-out truck. I have a truck that I bought 6 months out of high school. It took me 8 years to save for it. I bought it new, and it has 7 miles. I bought it new, and it had 7 miles only on it. It was beautiful when I first got it, but today the paint is peeling, the motor leaks oil, and it has a lot of dents all over it. Yeah. It is a truck that has been used. My niece calls my truck the hoopty. It means to her a piece of crap that needs to die. Sorry, I'll say it again. She calls my truck the hoopty. It means to her a piece of crap that needs to die. I still love my truck, and it still has character. It is the only car or truck I have ever owned in my entire life. Since I'm the only one impressing myself, I will keep my truck as long as it is able to. I will keep my truck as long as it is able to drive. The last part of my embarrassing tale, as my niece likes to put it, is my drug apartment complex. For the record, I am fine living this way. It is my niece who thought I need to show my world more profoundly. She thinks if I tell my tale willfully, then there will be a lady out there somewhere that will take pity on me and maybe date me. Now is my niece a pain in the butt? I think so. Anyways, my apartment is in the poor part of my town. There is a lot of drugs, crime, and sad stories on this block. On my block, I'm the president of my apartment complex. On my block, I'm the president of my apartment association for my apartment complex, and it has a shoestring budget to make repairs. My block consists of 12 owners owning 12 different apartments in this apartment association. I am one of 2 owners who still live here, with the rest filled with renters. Throughout my tenure, I had to deal with 3 drug houses and a corrupt property manager. My niece calls me white trash for having a place like this. I call myself sophisticated white trash. I know I live in squalor, not really, but I'm trying to improve upon it by taking care of the apartment complex and making it better for everyone who lives here. When drug houses start, you begin to see a lot of teenagers, transients, and then the all-night parties begin. The first drug house was between 2 renters. One was a prostitute and the other was a drug dealer. They exchanged services at first, and then they expanded their enterprise to the local high school. Once the overnight parties started, then it got out of hand and it became a drug house. The second drug house started next door to me. When I had needles inside my truck tires causing flats, and I couldn't sleep from the overnight parties, then I knew I had another problem with another drug house. The third drug house was the worst because the crack renters and the meth renters did not get along, and they would fight with knives, furniture, and fists. With each drug house, I would gather the renters and owners who cared. We would discuss on what to do. We would consult with police officers mainly, or get advice from a nice attorney who would not charge us anything. For each drug house, we would call the cops every night to make it hard for the renters to gather, do drugs, and throw overnight parties. Next, we would gather with the owner or owners who had the drug renters, and plead with him or her to get rid of the tenants. Most of the time, the owner was given a lot of money from the drug house to stay in business. When these 2 failed, and they usually did, we would gather evidence that would hold up in court that violated our bylaws or the rules of the apartment complex. This always worked because the fines would be in the thousands of dollars. Once the owner saw the bill, they would get rid of their drug renters. It usually takes 6 months to gather enough evidence, but after those 6 months, peace comes back to the block. When you're the president of an association, you have to educate yourself on what is going on in your building. After you do that, then you have to relay that to the owners and renters who care. This was the case with the corrupt property manager. I know this property manager was corrupt, but I didn't have proof. I educated myself by auditing the records, but I still couldn't find anything. When I finally asked for help, everything changed. The renters and owners who cared took it upon themselves to help me. They educated themselves about the financing, the repairs, and consulted more in the meetings. I didn't feel I was doing this all by myself anymore. I finally felt part of a team wanting to make it right in this poor part of town. In the end, we fired the property manager as a team. And found someone better suited for us. Even though this apartment complex is a money pit and sometimes a horrible place to live, I have people who are fighting at least to make this apartment complex a fairly decent place to live. These are my embarrassing tales from my life that my niece wanted me to mention. I know in 2019. I know my niece sometimes doesn't like my lifestyle and it can come out as mean, but I know she loves me and I love her. This is one of the reasons why I'm writing this paper, or do the book and the video. As she wants the best for me in dating the perfect woman, I also want the best for her by displaying that the future is bright and full of promise for her and her generation by showing that the beginning of equality for all can be established within the state of Oregon, the U.S., and the world. Ich ni sun shi go kuju konnichiwa la lune oui hola buenos dias adios we all win de nada.